I used to be a Christian, right, brother? I remember. And now, what's your name now? You become a Muslim? Altaya. So, brother, my question is that, like, what you were believing before coming into Islam?
Well, being born in a Catholic Christian family,
Okay.
we were told Jesus, Son of God, Jesus.
Okay.
So I grew up thinking that's who we had to go to talk to him.
Okay.
But I remember seeing Moses and his
Okay.
worship only him. Jesus, Isa said himself, worship only Allah.
Okay.
God. So I was like, I questioned in seminary school, why? It says right there, you believe in Moses, so why aren't we doing what he said when Jesus said he came to fulfill that?
Right.
You know, from him all the way to Muhammad. So I questioned it. They didn't like questioning, but some in there, some were okay. Some were okay. Would tell me, hey, you know, don't question me. That's how they are. You know, so more and more as I studied all the religions, I leaned more and more towards Islam because I seen it was pure, untouched by hands of humanity.
Right.
You know, by people's hands. So a little over a year ago, when it started getting cold, a brother that comes here, Abdul Qadir. We were talking on the steps one day in New Brunswick, on the library steps, and we were talking about God, you know, and all the religions. And he said, you know what? He's like, you want to do Shahada? And I was like, I had this feeling. And that feeling that you get when a kid gets a present when they're little that they always wanted, you know, and it felt that feeling in here. And I wasn't even thinking anything, but yet I felt it. So I was like, you know what? Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because I did so much enough studying on it to where I was like, you know what?
All right.
Let me do this. You know, something just made me tackle them all.
So that basically was you have internal voice from your heart.
Yes.
So for how many years was you were thinking about and your heart? Yes.
15, 20 years. I
15, 20 years?
More and more and more.
More and more.
Islam.
Okay.
And then finally, when he said the Shahada, and it was in New Brunswick, I'll never forget it. And I seen him here not that long ago, and he's like, hey, but I was skinnier then. I put weight on. He goes, you look familiar. And I'm like, you gave me the Shahada. He goes, oh my God. He's like, great.
Yeah.
You know, he goes, I put weight on. You know, I lost too much weight at one time.
Okay.
But it was good to see him again, you know. So I was like, hey, he did the Shahada. He's like, I'm glad you came here, you know. And I'm like, thank you, you know. And he's like, thank Allah, you know. And I was like, yeah, I know. I know it's really Allah.
Right.
You know?
So you were step away only for Shahada? You were ready? You knew the Quran? You knew the message of Islam?
Yes.
Okay.
I kept hearing, like, I'd go online. And I seen it in one of the most places. It wasn't even like Quran.com or anything like that. I was studying math.
Oh, okay.
The golden ratio. And sure enough, a Muslim came on and he said, he's not begotten, he doesn't get. And I was like, that sounds right for him.
Right.
That was like 15, 20 years ago. And I kept studying it. But it kept coming up when I was studying math. And the interesting thing is, I seen in the Quran scientific proof, not just religion. So I was astonished to see that also, which is what it took a weight off my shoulders. Because when we were in regular school, they don't teach about God.
Right.
They try to separate that.
Right.
To try to keep people in control.
Right.
So I was like, wow. You know, I knew something was amiss as a kid because I didn't believe in evolution at all.
Right.
I questioned it. I was like, how does nothing know how to have wings in a million years? That's nonsense.
Right.
I used to say, who is Mr. and Mrs. Evolution? I never met them, you know, and teachers wouldn't like that.
Right.
Oh, don't question, just like in seminary school. Don't question. But then when I saw...
You always were thinking about.
Yes. And then when I see that, it gave me relief. I was like, there is something. And then Dad got me really into it, so I paid even more attention. You know, so it was pure and that. So it was like religion and science in one kit and caboodle. That made me lean more and more. And then I don't know what took so long, but I mean, I'm just thankful that he got me to where I am now. You know?
So I would say the Quran is, you read the Quran by yourself?
English, yes.
In
I'm
English.
learning Arabic now.
You're doing Arabic now?
Yes.
But how many years you read the Quran in English?
About 15, 20 years.
15, 20 years.
Yes.
Okay. It's the stories like Muhammad Ali, the big boxer, he read the Quran and became Muslim. Malcolm X, he read the Quran.
Yes.
And so basically, you're saying like a Quran is a book for all humankind. And you read the Quran and you find yourself the way. Yes. Right? Allah gave you guidance when you after the reading the Quran. So basically the Quran is a book for all humankind. That's what you think about, right? And do you think if you are non-Muslim or following other religion, so do you think like do you everybody need to read the Quran? It's a book for not for one religion or for everybody, all human?
Yes, I would say for all mankind.
Everybody need to...
Yes, because they stay with the doctrines of Moses.
Right.
And it's not touched. It's not. You don't have to go to Jesus to get it.
Right.
You can go right to him, like Moses said. Worship only him. Jesus said himself, worship only him, all the way to Muhammad, from Adam all the way to Muhammad. Worship only him. So even then, when they used to say, "Oh, Jesus, are you Elijah? Are you the Son of God?" He'd say, "No, worship him, not me." You know, that's what I remember.
Right.
And when I questioned them in the seminary place, they'd be like, "Oh, no question."
No questions, yes.
I'm like, well, how could you not question? And then they tell you not to dig into the past. We dig into the past every time we read ancient scriptures. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't get that, and they didn't like it, so I left.
Did you have the same problem? Like I heard some people, some other Christian brothers, they say like when you go to different church, they say different things,
yes.
and you don't get to understand.
Yes, I also read 7 different living Bibles.
Okay.
One said he's the Son of God. One said he's God in the flesh.
Okay.
One asked him if he was, like I said, Elijah. Are you Elijah? I'm like, what is this?
Right.
And who's Elijah? Oh, no question. Just read. And they would give us tests.
Okay.
You know, and I would pass them because I read it.
Okay.
But I'd still question it, and they didn't like that when you question stuff.
Right.
You know? But
okay.
I would definitely think it's a book for all life.
The Quran.
Yeah.
So basically, you are not by like someone told you like to become a Muslim.
No.
You got the real message of the God.
Yes.
And then your inner self said, no, there's a God. And you finally got some person who gave you Shahada,
yes.
and basically you get to step in.
Yes.
You're looking for someone to step in. So is that your advice to people who are thinking from 10 years or there might be?
Yes,
what is your advice?
A lot of people say, oh, how do you know? Some people, like, when you know he's real, you forget that there was a time when you were questioning because of what you heard.
Right.
When I studied all the religions, that made me question. I was like, religion.
Right.
So I started to be like, whoa. Because one would say, don't do this. One would say, they're wrong and they're right. Or we agree on this.
Right.
So you got one that's Judaism. They say, oh, he didn't come yet. Now, Muslims, us, Islam,
right.
know that he came and he's coming back.
Right.
You know, then you got one that thinks he came, but he's the Son of God, but then they contradict themselves. Now, I love them dearly. I pray for all of them. You know, I really want them to, I ask Allah to open all their eyes. You know? But I just knew that something wasn't right. And that's what made me boggle between all the religions for 15, 20 years. And when I kept studying the Quran, I was like untouched by hands. It's got to be. And that feeling there, because I'm talking about it now, I'm getting a feeling. You know, you could feel it. And, it's that, that warm, great, fuzzy feeling, and you know what I mean.
So after feeling, what is your advice to people need to do that? Who had the feeling?
First of all, if they're not sure, I would suggest for them to go, if they're by themselves, get on their knees and ask him. Ask him to explain to them, make them understand. Because once I read the Quran, there wasn't only just the purity of the religion, it was the scientific. So in regular school, they teach you science, evolution, like I was saying. I'm like, how does the cell know how to do something without an absolute creator?
Right.
It's impossible. It's just, it made sense to me, like something's not right. So my suggestion would be just to tell them to ask him. Go by this, because when I did that, it was like the weight went off the shoulders, instead of me, because when I was little, I was like, oh, hell, me, why ain't this working that way? Then I said, what do you want? And it was like, oh, as if he said, it's about time, like that, instead of me thinking of myself.
Right. So basically you're saying you have to step in to not to just keep thinking and thinking.
Not
keep thinking and thinking.
Yes, he will give you what you ask.
Right.
And it's got to be for his will.
Right.
Which is actually everything with his will is you being happy also.
Right.
The individual.
Right.
So yes, I would definitely suggest for them to do that and read the Quran. Even if it's in English at first, any language, whatever it is, read the Quran.
I met one of brother Mark. You probably know him, Brother Mark.
From here?
Brother Mark. He was like 10 years struggling, and then he went to the masjid. He sent an email to masjid, and then he went to masjid. Someone called, and they went to masjid.
Okay.
So basically, if you have something inner, you have to step in go to masjid, go to try to other people if you have some question,
Yes.
because your inner self is not satisfied,
Yes.
and you don't want to be keep wasting your time. You
Yes,
want
I
to,
agree.
because you are lucky that God giving you guidance.
Yes.
And you are one of the chosen who got the guidance.
Hmm.
So don't wait more. Just get into
Yes.
and look around what you can do, and get into whatever you have final questions.
Yes. And
Get the
another
answers.
suggestion?
Yes.
Tell them to look at the scientific proof. Because some children are in regular school.
Okay.
They separate God from science.
Okay.
You can't take science out of what Allah did. Allah is the one that made it. So
Right.
how could they try to take him out of it?
Right.
That's their mistake. But it's also some religions, like some of them that I know in the Catholic. I mean, God bless them. I pray for them. But I knew after reading 7 different Christian Bibles, I asked Allah to open their eyes, because
Open your eyes.
all that's going to do is make them go in circles.
Right.
You know?
And they have
question. It's going to question. It's going to make them question themselves.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that just because I went through it, but I knew something wasn't right.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But I would tell them also get into not just the Quran, but look at the scientific proof, because some of them coming from a regular school where there's no God at all teaching, they don't even know. Some of them think he's a myth. They
Right.
don't even know he's real. Some of them. I know some of them because some of them are in my family.
right.
And it makes them look and search for other things, and sometimes they look to try to do magic. But we know that can't go that far without him. And without him, you don't need magic. He doesn't want magic, because there's really is no need for magic with him. So I definitely suggest that they look into the scientific proof, so that that'll take the weight off their shoulders about what they've been taught in regular school.
All right. The other question.
Because they're going to look, and some people it's stuck in their head. Where's the proof? Where's the proof?
Right. Right.
Well, and like I said, if you ask him, and then with that, he'll let anybody know, as long as it's for him, for his
Right.
will. You know, like I said, I used to be younger. I'd be like, oh, I want this. I'd ask for stuff, and I wonder why I didn't get it. But once I was selfless instead of selfish, then it was when whoa, you know, I just felt great. And every time I asked him, instead of trying to do things on my own, it would work better. You know, instead of trying to take on without asking him first, you know, like looking
Right.
at him for what does he want,
Right.
you know?
Okay. So one other question. Most
Yes.
people say, like, you believe on the one God, that is enough.
Yes.
Is that only believing a God, or worshipping a God also important? Also important, the worshipping the God, or only just believing a God?
Oh no, both.
If you talk some people, they say, "Oh, I believe the God." All right. So, but
Yeah, some say-
their life is basically they don't do anything in the life.
Yeah, they
They don't do worship, right? So, is it that important also to doing a worship also?
Yes, because when I was stuck in the Christian thing,
Yeah.
it made me feel, because I don't know if you know the Christian thing,
Mm-hmm.
where supposedly Lucifer was head of the angels.
Okay.
Michael was second, Gabriel was third. This is what we were taught.
Mm-hmm.
And I questioned that too. I'm like, why would Allah do that? Didn't make sense. Why would he create him knowing forever? So that means he knew, and that they didn't like that either. I'm like, he knows forever? And they go, yeah. And I'm like, so he knew. And they were like, they don't know what to say. They're like, yeah, but what? So why would he create him if he's just going to throw him out?
Right.
Didn't make sense to me. So the more I questioned it, the more I realized, all right, they're not telling me the full thing. Or either that, or they don't know.
That's interesting. The one last question I will ask you, Brother Raymond, Brother Tahir. The people, after Islam, what you got changed in your life?
Everything got better, quicker.
Okay.
And it's not just because of that. I'm not saying that's the reason I did it, but out of nowhere, it was, and that was just like, wow, what took this so long? When I thought, like, what took so long when I always loved, like I said to him, I always loved you. And it was just as if he said, well, instead of thinking of yourself, you finally go to me and what is, what I want. And when you give, and it's like I said, when you give him what he wants, he also gives you what makes you happy and makes you better and everything.
Right.
Yeah,
So you feel more you're safe in your life.
inner peace.
Yeah, inner peace.
Yeah. I feel better. Everything. I feel
Everything.
healthier. Yeah. I no longer have any, like, I hurt my back and my leg was, it wasn't doing so good.
Right.
Now I could walk again, and I could almost run again. Running is a little difficult, but it's getting more and more quicker and quicker. So,
So
the more,
basically-
the more I'm realizing, I'm like, and I keep telling myself, what took so long? What took so long? But then it's like, does it make a difference? Better now than never.
I would conclude like you got the purpose of life, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yes.
what is the purpose of life?
Without a doubt. Yes.
Yes. After Islam, you got the purpose of life.
Mm-hmm.
How to use my life, what to do in my life. That's what you got after Islam. That's
Yes.
that's what the Allah asking us.
Yeah.
So I gave a chance your life, and you have to do. You can utilize your life to do best, but don't forget me. Don't forget to worship me. Stay to me, not here and there. And once you are there, and then you can straighten up your life, whole life, and you got the purpose of life. And definitely, we all have a purpose of life, which is a Jannah, paradise. And I wish you best luck, Brother Raymond. And inshallah, hopefully, you will keep doing this. Keep doing what you're doing. You're very active in the community, in this Muslim community. Keep doing what you're doing. And I would also say to all other brothers Muslims, and keep doing what you're doing, and try to give a message of Islam to other Muslims also, other around your society, around your community, because we all born the same way, we all go the same way.
Yes.
Thank you, Brother Raymond. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you.
Talk to you.